Where I come from, streets is made of gold. Trapping like the new me, move back like the old me. On my back like Yoshi, yeah. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Can't beat them, join them. One life, enjoy it. Live like you royal, hell with purpose, let's destroy it. You think I'm joking? It's every word that's spoken. And rap these days is trapping craze, can get away with anything with 808s. They spell and pray and swell your brain, you fade away, your soul decay. They dig and graze, I'm A-okay. Just fast and pray, there'll come a day, a price to pay like Sally May, you in debt. So cast away your regrets, I digress. They regress, they treat girls like objects. They play around like recess, this rap game is nonsense. They big mad cause we bless, a goon to a goblin. You offset, I onset, I'm onset with wine in my goblet. You whining for God, I just pulled out the projects assigned to these haters. I feed off your comments, shake greed off my palms and take knees like I'm Colin. Take heat or just rot and just bleed while you falling in. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Sitting waiting, sinning lately, getting lazy, lighting up, you getting hazy. Kinda light just doesn't faze me, hating things that rap portraying. Ricky Bobby shaking bacon, Ricky Bobby shaking, me and Evo breaking up. I just hung up on the plug. Look at me like, why you bugging? Now they all like, what the what? Look at them like, why you thugging? Want my soul, want my gifts, want my heart for fame and money. Gotta admit, I almost did it, turn around and started running. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna own me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi.
All hell King Piers.
Thought I had nothing, but I got the fam. Ain't motivated, but I got some fans. No money, but I got some plans. Too faded, no Zans. Thought I had nothing, but I got the fam. Ain't motivated, but I got some fans. No money, but I got some plans. Too faded, no Zans. Thought I had nothing, but I got the fam. Ain't motivated, but I got some fans. No money, but I got some plans. Too faded, no Zans. Thought I had nothing, but I got the fam. Ain't motivated, but I got some fans. No money, but I got some plans. Too faded, no Zans.
I like this white girl with the big booty, so I wiped her up, don't call her Judy. Then I flicked her, call me Doug Flutie. Got all the riches, that's my royal duty. So blessed it just came to me. Pally gang, we don't play Gucci. That's a family name, now they all groupies. Not a golf game, so I can't meet our whole nine. You are just mad cause she's all mine, and I just gave her my whole nine. White picket fence in the whole nine. Now we just gaining a whole lot. Shot to my man, see the swole guy. Bang getting sore by the minute. This just the game and we in it. Way too much playing and sinning. You might just say we backslidden. Kids nowadays, they just clout chasing. Popping mollies, heart racing. Popping ollies, Nigel Houston. In and out, the institution. Just water, no pollution. Caught a case, retribution. Hella problems, no solution. You were my hitter, but now I'm confused. Cause we was just chopping, but we ain't talked since. We was so close, just like Jazzy and Prince. I am someone that you will not convince. That cheating on wifey was your first offense. Come against me and the title I'll clinch. You're an idea, nigga, I am the wrench. How you gon' win if you sit in the bench? Heads in the clouds, but the work in the trench.
Thought I had nothing, but I got the fam. Ain't motivated, but I got some fans. No money, but I got some plans. Too faded, no Zans. Thought I had nothing, but I got the fam. Ain't motivated, but I got some fans. No money, but I got some plans. Too faded, no Zans.
Wi-Fi nigga, nigga, meet me backstage. Why cry, nigga, just act your age. Lie, sinner, go and get saved. Brown, nigga, king of LA. I am just stuck in my ways. Reply, nigga, don't leave me hanging. Good guy lately, I've been debating. Bye, nigga, might as well face it. Too old for all this petty shit. Too woke to get litty lit. 5 years, I had 3 kids. I said, baby, look what your kitty did. Got them new J's, but they barely fit. Feeling Popeye with all the spinach. Wardrobe staying black lately. Copped a bootleg from Saint Vintage. 716, I'm from Buffalo. 6 feet under, I'm talking hella snow. Hella snow, I'm talking hella cold. Mafia, no Capone. Darius on the throne. There he is, come alone. Pac and Biggie, stupid flow. Fresh Prince, mop and glow. Coming at me with the fake demands. Then you want to shake my hand with a grand gesture. Kneel down like I'm Killmonger. You can bury me with my ancestors. 17, she was 21, was a little kid, but I impress her. Love that girl to my upper 90s like I'm starting forward for Manchester.
Thought I had nothing, but I got the fare. Ain't motivated, but I got some fast. No money, but I got some plans. Too faded, no Zans. Thought I had nothing, but I got the fare. Ain't motivated, but I got some fast. No money, but I got some plans. Too faded, no Zans.
He's heating up!
You are looking rather splendid this evening.
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Come up, hey, let's be with that drama, hey, saw that fatty mama, hey, told her I don't wanna, hey, come up, hey, let's be with that drama, hey, saw that fatty mama, hey, told her I don't wanna, hey. Went out, caught me a red fly, too many people on a bandwagon, done been through that hellfire. Came out lethal like a red dragon. Same old rapper with the same old flows. Color dreads with the pants sagging. Got that fame, but you sold your soul. You a warlock. I'm the dark assassin. Said thick stacks, mo change, big bags, faux chains. Get that money, said big facts, no gains, big stats, mo fame. We back done said big names. On stage, big trap, no shame. Going and running that big check. My name, sign that, mo rain. Come back home and just come up, hey, let's be with that drama. Saw that fatty mama, hey, told her I don't wanna, hey.
And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives.
Hey, told her I don't wanna, hey.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
I'm not going to assume your gender.
What the fuck is that? Pennywise is on disability or something?
How insensitive of you to point that out.
You don't have the privilege to go to work?
I am a disabled American, and you think I can get up and go to work? I don't have that privilege.
I'm gonna throw up.
I can imagine the ugly things that go through your mind and the thoughts. I wouldn't want to live in your head for 1 minute.
Go fuck yourself.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
You fucking people.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustles, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. And today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you beaches. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming. It's episode 3450. Hit the like button. Thank you so much for being here. You can subscribe over on Rumble at The Daily Swole, YouTube at The Daily Swole, and anywhere you bang your ear holes. So whatever podcast app you enjoy, make sure you subscribe, share it with your friends, especially people that need to go to the fucking gym, because chances are you know someone. Give an approximation in the live chat. How many people do you know that need to go to the fucking gym but don't? Ooh, that's a good number. You know, give me a range. Give me like a 10 to 15, a 30 to 40, pretty much everyone probably. But maybe approximate number of people that you actually know that need to go to the fucking gym and don't. Drop that in the comments. So let's jump into today's episode. Leave a 5-star review, share it with your friends. Let's talk a little merch before we get into the first merch picture. I want to remind you guys that it is Fuck Your Resolution season. So we have some new merch. We have a few different Fuck Your Resolutions designs. I feel like we should have a whole Fuck Your Resolutions collection. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll offer all of them and you'll get like a special discount if you get the entire collection. We need to start doing some more collections like that for different types of merch, because we have certain ones that are in a series. We have Swole Wars. We have a few that have a lot of correlations. So anyway, Fuck Your Resolutions. Start today. Don't wait for January 1st. Let's get into today's episode, but check it out, papaswolio.com. You can also check out all the hair and body care. We got mugs. We have flags. I've actually been posting or putting up a lot of my flags. I think I told you guys I've been improving. We've been doing renovations, I guess, for lack of a better term, renovations in the fucking gym. And it's coming along well, slowly but surely. And I'm hanging up the flags. I got tired of not seeing the flags, so I'm doing like a temporary hang up. So I'm putting all my flags back up, and I have a lot. I need to get a couple more, but I just hung up the pirate flag. I got that back up. It's awesome. And we got to get this on a flag. I want to get this horizontally on a flag, so you can literally hang this in your yard. So I'm going to do that. We're going to do this one. We need to get some more horizontal flags. A lot of them are vertical because you could hang them vertically in your house, but I think we need to get some more horizontal designs. This is a perfect one. So anyway, check it out, papaswolio.com. Check out the flags. Check out the mugs. It's beautiful. It looks awesome. Great new design. And yeah, it lets everyone that you know where you stand. Let's get into the first.
What's in the box?
The first post here. This one's from Corey 1.0. I can't wait for Corey 2.0. If Corey 1.0 is this much of a fucking Chad, I don't even know. I don't even know what we're going to do with Corey 2.0. Unapologetically, fuck your pumpkin spice. I went to the fucking gym. IWWTFG. I think that's a new shirt. IWTTFG. I'm always saying, go to the fucking gym. We need to get shirts. We need to get shirts that say, I went to the fucking gym. Thanks for tagging me. Looking good, Corey. Looking good. Looking absolutely based. Looking pumped, bro. Keep it up, homie. Looking good. Looking good. We got to get him on Swole Mates. All right, fam. You know what time it is. Come on. Don't lie to me. You know it's time for Rate My Meal. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you don't know, Rate My Meal is the segment where we kind of go over, hey, we see what the Swole fam's up to. We see what, and this is a lot of times greater Swole fam. We post this in stories. We post this on Facebook. You know, a lot of this is people that are followers. We call them the greater Swole fam. I still consider people that follow the page. I mean, honestly, you know, we have the Swole fam members, but colloquially, it's all Swole fam. We have the greater Swole fam, and then we have the inner Swole fam. We have the Swole sluts, you know, so we have people that are not members. Then we have members, and then we have the Swole sluts. So you have different, like, you know, there's different levels of the Swole fam. You have people that are members, and let's be honest, some people sit in the back. Some people are not super engaged. We know that. Sometimes they pop out and they're like, hey, I wish I was plugged in a little bit more. But then we have the Swole sluts. The Swole sluts are the ones that are popping into the round tables all the time. You know, they're in the community. You don't have to do all these things. Sometimes things don't fit your schedule. But the Swole sluts, that's a whole different level of Swole fam. All right, let's get into this. Brighton Wolf. Papa Swole, I had sushi. It's okay to have a cheat meal. I'm going to give you a Matt Damon just because I feel like it. Now, I'm not giving you a Matt Damon because you had sushi, because you can make better choices. You could have sashimi. There's good ways to have raw fish. It's when you get into all the soy. The problem is a lot of times the rice, they put sugar in it. There's MSM. There's all sorts of other things that could be binders that they use for sushi. So, you know, it's okay to have a cheat meal. You can tell yourself that. I personally don't want to cheat. I don't feel the need to cheat. I think cheating is what people justify when their nutrition sucks and their habits suck. You can have a different opinion, but that's how I look at it. What would you consider a cheat meal? It's eating garbage. Oh, but it tastes good. So what? I want to make it with real ingredients. If I want pizza, we're going to make chicken crust pizza. We're going to make it ourselves, and it's going to taste good. And it's going to get that flavor combination. I've eaten garbage in the past. You guys know that. But I don't anymore. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't smell good. It doesn't taste good. I want to feel good after I eat these things. So you can make your own pizza. You can make your own meat. You can make your own stuff. You can make your own ice cream. And even more so now, for example, there's ice cream brands that literally just use real ingredients. So if you're going to eat ice cream, you can actually buy some of these things. You can make it yourself. You can put the right amounts of what you want in there, and it's fresh. Anyway. So I don't think there's a justification for a cheat meal. I think cheat meals are what people crave and compulsively eat because they want to justify, one, they want to justify their addictions. Two, they have cravings because of poor sleep, poor electrolyte balance, poor nutrition. So they just like have this gnawing feeling for being either it's really actually hydration that you need, you're thirsty, you're dehydrated. And I also think a lot of this is their body just craving a mass amount of something because they're missing, it's low on magnesium or vitamin D or vitamin B, whatever it is. And the body just says, yo, send it, flood the zone. We need nutrition. And then you stuff your face with so much volume of garbage. And yeah, you might have certain traces of X, Y, and Z, but you feel satiated temporarily because of the polyunsaturated, the garbage seed oils. And then you have sugar that spikes your insulin. You feel good for a little bit, and then you crash, and then you feel like crap, and then your joints hurt, and then you feel bloated and X, Y, and Z, all that stuff. Just think about that. I think a lot of times it's a dehydration or sleep issue. It's just a justification or an addiction that you're trying to unplug from because a lot of these things are made to be addictive. And you're just not getting in proper nutrition. So you're just starving. You're actually starving. You eat a lot of food, but you're starving. A lot of people that are obese, that's the problem, or that's a big problem, is they have way too many calories, but too little nutrition. They're very full and they're fat and they have a lot of extra energy and their body is fucked up, but they have no micronutrients. That's the problem with these processed foods. They refortify things. Your body doesn't absorb those things. And then, it's devoid of nutrition. There's no such thing as empty calories. Yeah, no fucking shit. Of course there is. You're an idiot. You're just a liar. You're a liar or you're an idiot, or both. People are stupid and they lie. They don't want to do the work and they don't want to change their habits, so they justify it. It's easier to say, oh, it fits my macros. Oh, it's in my calorie balance. Well, that's what people say when they don't want to do better for themselves and they don't want to change. They try to justify it. So it's like you're watching an addict try to justify their behavior. Well, speaking of Brian, here's a couple things. We got some pizza. We're talking about, that looks like shit, Domino's or whatever, pizza. But wait. But I think we got something here. Because Brian says, I need to do better. So based Brian, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being honest with yourself. All right. I think we can all agree that Brian needs to do better. Good stuff, Brian. Good stuff. You do need to do better. Never trust a Brian with a Y. That was the first thing that gave it away. That's the first thing that concerned me. When I see Brian with a Y, I'm like, that's shady. That's shady shit. Because you're going to tell people your name is Brian. No one's going to go Bryon. It's misleading. Your name's not really Brian. It's Brion. And then it's like, oh, how do you spell Brion? Brian. Brian with a Y. I'm going to tell you, I'm going off. It's not about you, Brian. It's about your mom or your dad, whoever named you. This is how a child spells names, right? Actually, it'd be I-Y. It'd be Brian. Oh, it would be B-R-I-A-N. Burwyan. Why do you got a Y there, bro? I'm just saying, what? Come on. Honestly, you want to be different on paper? Yo. My name is Brian with a Y and an O. And someone be like, fuck you. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. What's your name? Brian with a Y and an O. Get the fuck out of my restaurant. Get the fuck out of All right, thanks, Brian. You do need to do better you need to do better with your name. All right? I don't blame you. I don't blame you for eating pizza. You're hating on yourself. You're hating on yourself, Brian. That's self-harm. You're frustrated. You've been dealing with this YO bullshit. You're like, I just want to tell people my name is Brian and for them to get it right. Well, your parents fucked you over, bro. Your parents fucked you over. It is what it is. It is what it is. But we love you, though. Yeah, you could do better. Do better, please. Thank you. All right, Charles Berman. Let's see what we got here. Is that a... Holy shit, that's a big log of steak. That's a huge... Dude, that's a big meat. Charles has a massive, massive piece of meat. Charles, you got a big... That's a big log, dude. Is that a hog? That's a huge hog. If that's a hog, Charles, you are absolutely endowed with meat. I'm surprised how big your meat is, Charles. I don't think I've seen a man with thicker... Look at the veins. Look at the girth, and it's ribbed. For all our pleasure. Charles, that's a huge piece, dude. Charles is absolutely hanging dong. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Charles Tree Trunk Berman. Let's go. Let's go. Absolutely hung. Well, we go from that. We go from Charles's massive meat to Joshua Rude, and I'm going to give you a Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Settle down. Settle down. Ooh, Charles, Cerny's looking for you. Cerny's looking for you. Sounds like you hit a nerve with the swole sluts. Everyone's enjoying. Everyone's ready. Everyone's ready. Look at Charles's meat. Give me more of that. Daddy Charles. Daddy Charles. All right. So we're going to go deep on Joshua Rude. Now, whenever it says top fan above it, this is what Facebook puts. I guess people that are, what is a top fan? I guess you follow or you comment or you engage regularly. So, part of me should not, or part of me thinks, all right, maybe I shouldn't rake you across the coals, but time to rake, Josh. Are those hot dog buns? That looks like you put slices of bread with hot dogs on top. Those don't look like hot dog buns. If those are hot dog buns, you need help with those hot dog buns. That's pretty insane, dude. No one likes hot dog buns that don't fold. You want them to be tight. And I can tell that I used to work at a hot dog stand for years in high school and college, summer job and stuff like that. That's how I made money. A family friend owned a gourmet hot dog stand, small town, real small town. So it was like people would come in from the city and they'd go antique shopping and I'd be making gourmet hot dogs. Hot dog carts got like chili and we had like peppers and onions and it was like fancy shit. Man, those things were fucking good. They were good. Anyway, that being said, you put the ketchup on first, dog. You put the ketchup on first so it doesn't get all over your beard, all over your face. Oh, you probably don't have a beard. I see in your avatar you don't have a beard. No beard? No shit. All right, anyway, I'm just trolling that. But that's how you do it. You put the mustard and the ketchup on first, and you put the dog on top. Bam. Wow. Because then you got room for other toppings. It depends. It depends on how you're doing it. There's different styles. I'll do a sandwich, bottom and top. Hits a different taste buds. It's a different way. You got to be, it's a science. It's a science. All right. Ray Reinhardt's. All right. You could do better. You could do better. Tuna salad. To
What the fuck is that?
Tuna. Sorry. Hold on. Ray Reinhardt's tuna salad. Substitute the mayo with cottage cheese. Is that a thing? I've never heard this in my life. Putting mayo in something doesn't make it a salad. It makes it disgusting. Mayo's disgusting. It's fucking gross. You can make your own, but it's still gross even if you make your own. But obviously you can do it with, a different oil, like coconut or avocado oil, which is questionable already. You can use egg yolks, and you can make your own things, fam. I have never heard anyone ever mixing cottage cheese with tuna. Have you ever heard of this before? I've never heard of this. This sounds absolutely... I'm leaving this post. How can you eat that when steak exists? I don't understand. There's so many things that exist. The list is long. The list is long of things that you can eat instead of this, right? You can eat a lot of things instead. Just think of all the options of things you can eat in this world instead of this. Ray, cheers to you and your loved ones and your toilet. But my goodness, I've never heard of that. I never heard that. That's a combination. Rob Kaufman, what we got here? We got some cow food in the back, and I see a steak. All right. Steak.
That gorilla has seen the city of Zinj.
Ryan Rice. Not eating rice. Chicken? I'm assuming chicken looks like a little bit of a chicky with some eggs. Ooh, we got some mamas and the babies. So you got the whole family there. This is what we call a family platter. You get the chicken and you get the egg. Eat it all, baby. Eat it all. That's what I'm talking about. Ryan Rice. There you go. That's a poultry platter right there. Valerie Bentley, definitely naughty, but hey, it was worth it. Sigh emoji. Homemade peanut butter cheesecake. Ooh. Well, let me put it this way. You definitely know how to decorate or do that's if you're going to make a pastry, like that looks like you do it for a living. That's visually but I'm not peanut butter is one of those overrated, that's one of those things that people have this weird fetish with. What is it with the peanut butter stuff? I don't know all the ingredients that are in this, but you can tell it's nothing. I can only imagine. We'll leave that here. Diabetes intensifies. Did I just slide that off? Diabetes intensifies.
Right. So I'll take the tea without the covert diabetes delivery mechanism, please.
All right. Well, that's the last one. So rough around the edges. I don't know. A couple good ones in there, I'll be honest. But let's get into that tip. Let's move on.
Just an inch.
That's why.
It's cold outside.
That's why it's the greater Swole fam. We're not talking about the Swole sluts. That's not super deep. That was the What's Up Beaches. Look, now we're putting the tip in. Now you're going to get some Swole fam posts. So let's get some logic and common sense back in the game. Oh, super zoom. Good morning. This is from Don. Don, welcome to the fam, Don. Everyone say welcome, Don, in the comments. Welcome, Don. And go comment. Make sure you jump into the community section and jump into the app and comment on Don's post. You just got to scroll down a couple because you guys are blowing this shit up. It's like a few down. Good morning, my new friends. I really appreciate any encouragement due to the lack of a local support system. 8 years ago, I was in a car accident in which my injuries caused temporary paralysis in my lower extremities. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Due to the mental and physical trauma, my body became my worst enemy. At 315 pounds, I decided to make a change and begin healing Today, I am down to 265 with no pain.
Wow.
I have a long way to go, but need structure to continue. Thanks in advance for any help for this old man. Well, Don, we have, it sounds like Don is the male, maybe Don is the male Cerny. You know, we got some older swole sluts in here. I'm quickly becoming one, but we got some veterans. We got some swole slut veterans that are ready to take you under their wing, so to speak. So good for you, Don. Welcome to the Swole fam. We're stoked to have you. Let's get some claps for Don. Never quit. I love it. I love it. Never too late to start. Never quit, never too late to start. And guess what? If you never quit, you never have to start again. That's a great quote you can live by. If you don't quit, you never have to start again. And I also say sometimes that it is too late to start. But start today, you know? You might be too late for certain things. Let's just be honest. But you can make massive progress. But you can't let that hold you back. You know, the longer you wait, the more you're going to regret. It's always today. The best time with everything is now. Like, do it now. Do it now. Just keep that quote in your head. Just always come back to that. Do it now. Start it now. Now is always the best. All right, Joanne, if it works, it works. I don't have an incline bench to do my prone press, but this works for now. Good for you. Good for you. Excellent. And just some other stuff to think about, Joanne. You can do prone press on your chest. So you can use that to elevate. You can also do it flat and just do it with your arms. You just have to drop the weight tremendously. And it's a little bit of a different, there's a little bit more on the external rotation. Like you'll feel it in different ways. So try both. Try doing it flat on the bench with just your arms, or like 1 pound plates, or just your hands, or holding a cup or 2 mugs or something. You know, try different things. Try different angles and see what you like best. But just understand that the more prone you go, the lighter the weight you're going to use. But good stuff. Excellent. And that's creative. So I'm assuming you put that, what you can do is elevate the front of your bench. I don't know if that's what you use for. Maybe you put your bench up on that. But what you can also do is elevate the front of your bench. So put some pillows under it, or a cinder block or 2, and just elevate the front of. We got one here from Will. So what we got?
What's in the box?
Will says some Mexican gains, fam. Ooh, keep doing what you do. And I love it. I love the wrestling mask. GTTFG. So I said, get those gains, essay. Looking good, Holmes. Everybody likes it. You look like you're making sick fucking gains, man. Those gains look fucking good, man. Get swole, essay. You looking jacked, Holmes. You looking thick, bro. All right, let's get into some questions. It's time for some knowledge cock. All right. Where are the questions? Did I open them? Oh, certainly. Certainly.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Oh, I remember. I opened them up, and then we had a couple more added, and then I closed it. And then I did not open it again. All right, so let's get into the first question. If you have live questions, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio in the comments. And we'll get to those. Defender Khan, Papa Swolio. How to make balls stronger. I'll be honest, I forget the person's name, but there are some people that do these weird testicle swinging. Have you seen that, dude? I don't know if it's fake or real. It looks horrifying. Have you seen the guy that like drops himself down? He's got some sort of weird tics. He's always like meow meow and like drops his balls. I don't know why. What's wrong with my feed? I think because we've stitched so many retarded videos, my algorithm, the algorithm on the Instagram accounts, you guys would be like, what in the hell? It's the most ridiculous shit. Because if we do a stitch, the algorithm's like, hey, you and the people around you like these videos. Here are some other insane things. Yeah, there's some weird videos. The problem is once you look for it, or you get shown it and you watch it for a second, then the algorithm's like, hey, you want to see more of this insane stuff? No, please, no, please, no. So I guess that's how you would make your balls stronger. But hey, cold plunge, sauna. I guess what's getting popular now is doing the sauna with an ice pack on your balls or something. I've seen that floating around. It's getting weirder and weirder. Sauna hats are great. I would say getting sunlight. Sun the balls, sun the nips, sun the sack. Get that vitamin D, eat some more steak, lift some weights, and use the balls. You know, if those balls are flapping, fap, and you're getting those balls hitting, they're gonna get stronger. They're gonna get stronger. Marbles. Use them. Use the balls. Use the balls. Use them, my guy. Although I'm not sure we want someone reproducing that's like, how do I make my balls stronger? I don't know if we need more. We probably do need more of that in this world, to be honest. Maine Marshall on Rumble. Papa Swolio, while correcting my nutrition, I am struggling to eat enough. Is quality still greater than quantity for the time being? I'm still trying to lock in on preparing real food that I actually enjoy. Well, why are you struggling to eat enough? Quality, I think, is always important. Quality should always be number one. It should always be number one. It's going to answer a lot of your questions. You're actually going to have satiety mechanisms. And honestly, most people don't need to eat as much as they think they do. Even when you're building muscle, you don't need to eat as much. You don't need to be overstuffing your face. A lot of times people gain because they're getting fat. And they use bulking as an excuse to eat garbage. We know that. People oftentimes use an excuse to eat crap. I'm bulking, but I'm bulking. And they eat shit. When you say you're struggling to eat enough, how are you measuring that? Do you just feel hungry? Then eat more. Then make more. So that's my question. How do you know? Because if you know you're struggling to eat enough, then eat more. And how do you know you're not getting enough? What are you noticing or what are you tracking that is telling you that? So don't eat garbage. Just eat more of the food. You're going to be more satisfying. You're going to be more satisfied if you're eating nutrient-dense food. You're going to be more satisfied. You don't need as much food because you're getting the nutrients. That's why people overeat. You're getting seed oils. You're getting all these processed oils, all these processed sugars, food dyes, and all these other things, and anti-nutrients, and crap that doesn't absorb as well as animal products. And then your body is starving. That's why nutrient-dense food is important. And when you're hydrating properly, you realize, hey, I'm not as hungry as I thought I was. Most of the time, you're thirsty. You don't have to, people eat way too much. Because don't forget, your body has energy, your body has fat. You're not 0% body fat. You have to eat for your energy expenditure. Not everything you do every day is 3,000 calories, no matter what. It's going to fluctuate. And if you're getting stronger, you're building muscle, most likely over time. So if that's happening, then follow up. The food I eat is lower calories, and it feels like I eat a lot of them, but I'm only cracking like 2,000 calories a day. How much do you weigh? How tall are you? What's your energy expenditure? If you're doing tons of caloric expenditure, if you're doing endurance training, you're going to be hungrier. So when I train, I'm doing intense short bursts of activity. That uses more energy long term. That uses more calories to rebuild. While I'm training, I'm not expending tons and tons and tons and tons of energy. I'm not exhausted. I'm waiting a few minutes, then doing an all-out set, and then I'm resting. I'm not running around doing cardio or jumping jacks. I'm not doing a cardio workout. I'm lifting weights. I'm providing a stimulus. So you only need to make sure that your body has enough tools available to provide for your nervous system, to provide, magnesium. You need those micronutrients. You need macronutrients too. You need protein, but you need available protein. And carbs that are not going to necessarily send your blood sugar through the roof when you don't need to. There's a time for simple carbs, and there's a time for things that are less impactful on your blood sugar. So give us a little bit more details, because you're only cracking 2,000 calories a day. Okay. A lot of times that's plenty. Because understand, I mean, the food you eat is lower calories, meaning what? Nothing's lower. I mean, it is what it is. It has what it has in it. So eat different foods. Or eat more of what you're eating. Give us some more details. It just seems like a solvable problem. You know what your issue is. I need to eat more. Okay, so eat more. All right, I'm 5'10", 182 to 185. My lifts have gotten stronger. I feel like I could certainly use more energy feeling-wise. Feel better than when I eat crap, though. Okay. I mean, how are you doing? You probably need more carbs or different types of carbs. What about magnesium, vitamin D? Are you drinking enough? Are you drinking electrolytes? Are you getting enough sodium? If you're training, you need a few grams at least of sodium a day. I have tons of salt. Sodium's great. Are you getting sunlight? How's your sleep? Magnesium deficiencies? Depends on what you're eating. So what are you eating? It sounds like a micronutrient or vitamin D or sunlight. This is the time of year when people get less sun. And also, most people don't get enough sun during the summer because vitamin D is a hormone. So you need to get your vitamin D and K2. This is supplement season for most people. And most people are severely deficient because you build up vitamin D stores when you're getting it over the summer. Because people just don't die in the winter. Unless you're unvaccinated, and then it's a winter of death. Remember the winter of death for the unvaccinated? You are going to die. You and all your family that didn't get experimental gene therapy are just going to drop dead. Still here, bruh. Still here. Still here, son. All right.
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Oh, but I forgot. If you go get sunlight, you got to make sure you slather toxic sludge all over your body and cover up, because the evil sun that provides life for everything on this planet, don't let it touch your skin. Raw liver, fantastic. That's what it sounds like. It just sounds like you're not getting enough micronutrients. So give us some. You're watching live, so let's do this. We'll come back to you. All right. Oh. Hybrid Thomas. Hybrid Thomas, is that a real beard? Is that a real beard?
Matt Damon. Come on, man.
Hybrid Thomas. This must mean that Thomas is a hybrid between a human and a fucking retard. So, is that a real beard? Yeah, it's a real beard. Just ask your mom. Oh. Oh. Ooh.
Emotional damage.
Oh, yeah.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
Thank you for the question, Thomas. All right. Let's see here. Sterling. Papa Swole, recalling an earlier episode, if I am incorporating squats and other similar movements that activate abs and obliques, no need to isolate them if I'm just trying to keep them strengthening. I'm not sure I completely understand. You get the adaptations for whatever you train. If you don't train rotation, you're going to be weak in rotation. So I'd recommend you work rotation. If you don't do lateral bending, you're going to be weak in lateral bending. So make sure you do lateral bending. It's that simple. If you train squats, you're going to strengthen muscles that activate during squats. You do get pelvic floor. You'll get some glutes. So anyone that, when we talk about, I'm just going to talk about squats for a second. When we talk about squats, think about it. What do we call, I do squats. When I do squats for quads. I'll do a squat. I'll do a hack squat targeting quads, because how you stand is going to determine which muscles might have the best leverage or the most activation. If you do a squat with your feet further back and you let your knees go more over your toes and you don't go super, super deep, it's going to be more quads. If you go a little wider and you go all the way down ass to grass, you're going to get more adductors, you're going to hit a little bit more glutes. But of course you're working, your spinal erectors are tensing and things are bracing and you're squeezing and it's central nervous system and you're tensing, your chest is tight, you're holding the handles on a hack squat, muscles are squeezing. You're not just like relaxing your shoulders and pushing really hard with your legs and limp. You're tensing everything. This is why it's so exhausting on your central nervous system when you're loading the shoulders, because it's systemic. You're loading the spine. If you're doing leg extensions, your spine isn't getting crushed. But if you're doing 300-400 pounds or 3, 4, 5 plates, even on a leg press, you're pushing your back into the pad. It's a lot of pressure on your body. That's why bracing is important and all this other kind of stuff. I was doing stiff leg deadlifts yesterday. You're going to tell me, oh, stiff leg deadlifts are for hamstrings. If you're doing stiff legs, it's hamstrings and adductors, maybe a little glutes. Yeah, and I haven't done them in like a week or two. So yeah, I feel it in my lats. I feel it in, the middle of my back. I feel it in my lower back. I feel it in my spinal erectors. I'm not destroyed, but I feel it all over. It's a total body exercise. You're working a lot of different things. Just because it's total body and a lot of other things are involved doesn't mean it's maxing out each and every one of those muscles. That's not that's not the limiting factor you're trying to hit. So I use straps and I do other things. My focus is trying to make sure the limiting factor is, okay, my hamstrings can't do another hinge. So I'm trying to load and overload the hamstrings and the hip hinge component more than fatiguing my grip strength, right? It would slip out of my hands before I was done. So I use straps and things like that. So you're working a lot of muscles and you're squeezing your abdominals and things like that. But just because I'm isometrically squeezing my rectus abdominis doesn't mean I'm getting flexion and extension. So I'm not really targeting that muscle from a concentric standpoint, which is going to build more muscle or build more development. If I'm not doing lateral bends, those muscles are not getting lengthened and I'm not getting a concentric eccentric contraction. If I'm not doing rotation, those muscles are not getting a full stretch and a full contraction. And you should do those things. There's benefits to doing bands and doing twisting and throwing a ball against a wall. You don't have to do it all the time, but do it with strength. Do lateral bends on a 45-degree hyper and increase the weight. Do different exercises and make sure that you're targeting these different motions, because the last thing you want to do is train only sagittal plane, never do rotations, and then you bend down to pick something up and you rotate while you're doing it and something pops because these muscles are undertrained. Doesn't mean you have to train them all the time, but you should put priorities through these different movements. Hopefully that helps. What happened to Marshall? What happened to Maine Marshall? What happened there? Mr. Marshall, where you at, bro? You haven't followed up. All right. Apostolos. Oh, Maine, or maybe, okay, now it's popping up. I guess all I do is say so, and Rumble's like, here, we'll give you the chat. All right, we'll get to that in a second. Actually, okay, let's come back to that. Let's do Maine Marshall first because I just mentioned it. All right. I take vitamin D and K. That's what she said. I take vitamin Dick. I supplement a couple 100 milligrams of magnesium. I drink 1 serving of electrolytes daily. I eat steak, ground beef, chicken, eggs, bacon, milk, potatoes. Okay, I mean, I know you can only give us so much detail. 1 serving of electrolytes, that sounds like it. You sound like you're sodium deficient. You exercising, you lifting heavy, you training hard. Where do you live? How much do you sweat? Are you using like tons of... 1 serving of electrolytes is not enough sodium. You're going to get potassium from potatoes and you'll get some from steak. So you might not be it's harder to be potassium deficient. You can just have a banana. But you'll get potassium in these other things, but that's not enough sodium. And magnesium's good. Magnesium's good. Magnesium glycinate's good, depends on, but it sounds like you don't have enough electrolytes. So 1 serving is not enough. You need more salt, in my opinion. And you'll be very sluggish. You'll feel exhausted and tired if you don't have enough sodium. And I would just salt to taste. meaning I would measure it. I use a microscale. So remember, if you're using sodium chloride, 1 gram of sodium chloride is not 1 gram of sodium. So, a gram of sodium is like, I think it's like 2.5 grams of salt to get a gram of sodium. So you don't need a gram of sodium in like a cup of water. But if you're exercising, you lose about a gram of sodium per pound of water or something like that, or something around like that. And people are different. So in my exercise balance, I have more salt, and you need more fluids, you need more replacement. You don't lose as much potassium and magnesium when you sweat. But if you sweat a lot, you need more salt. That's the rate. And if you're sedentary right now, if I put salt in my water and I have that kind of ratio and I have really dense, I need to dilute it more. But I'm not drinking the same concentration of electrolytes or salt in my water. I have salt in this right now, but I don't have the same ratio as when I'm losing a lot of salt. Does that make sense? So I don't need the same type of concentration in my water. And the way I generally gauge it is, how salty does it taste to me? Because if I don't need the sodium, it's going to taste super salt. I'm like, oh my God, I taste super salty. When I'm training and I'm drenched and it's like, I wouldn't say dense with salt, but it has a lot of electrolytes and creatine and has some sugar and my simple carbs, I'm like, it just absorbs. I just pound it because I'm losing it like crazy. And I have a taste for my taste buds. I need salt. And the carbs, my body just absorbs it. But if I'm sitting around and I had the same concentration, I would take a sip and be like, ugh, because I don't need it right now. And if for whatever reason you oversalt and you're like, oh, it's a little bit strong, then just take a tiny little sip. And then when you're thirsty, you go and you have a little sip. You just don't need as much. Because most of what hydration is, it's water too, it's fluid, but you need to be replenishing. And if you're sweating and you're giving off, you're in the sauna, you're exercising, whatever it is, just in general, you're going to need more fluid. And for the volume, you're going to need the sodium to replace what fluid is lost. Sea salt does. You just want to make sure you look up salts. Some salts have been shown to maybe have, sea salts can be sketchy because of the plastics that are in the ocean. Even things like Celtic sea salt, it's, you're going to get microplastics potentially. It's a risk. There's plastic in fucking everything. Probably in the fucking air you're breathing, technically. Gasoline and stuff. So, or precursors to plastics, petroleum-based stuff, and this, that, and the other. But, Redmond real salt. You can get other ones that are more clean. I forget some of the brands that we have. I think Malden sea salt is a good one too. But there's certain ones that might be better for food, certain ones that are better for absorption. But there's different products out there. But just understand that salt and sodium is in salt, sodium chloride. So if you're taking salt, like we have some, let's say, whatever salt, and I put on a scale, 1 gram of salt is not 1 gram of sodium. So 1 gram of salt is probably, I don't know, a couple hundred milligrams of sodium, something like that. I think the ratio is like, 2 to 3 or something, or 1 to 1.5. Someone can look it up. I forget. Jonah Kunzelman. Papa Swole, what the heck should I eat before I go to the fucking gym? That's a good question. Well, I think you got to figure it out. Some people recommend a carbohydrate meal before training. You can do that. And I would recommend you try different things. Personally, what I like doing now is before I have my pre-workout, maybe half an hour before, I have a protein shake. Sometimes with some collagen in it, just water and protein. I'll have 20, 30 grams of protein, maybe some collagen in it, and I'll drink that. And then I'll have my pre-workout maybe like 15, 20 minutes later. And then I will have my intra-workout where I have simple carbs. I have cyclic dextrin. I have some little bit of apple juice. I have my electrolytes. I have water, ton of water. I put creatine in there. I said electrolytes. I don't know if I put anything trying to think. No, that's usually about it. But electrolytes, I'll usually use something like Redmond or something that has a little potassium, magnesium, just because I sweat a lot. So you will sweat some potassium, magnesium, not that much, but I more heavily bias it towards sodium. And I do the carbs and I start drinking that. I start sipping on that intra workout after the first intense set that I do. So I'll warm up, I'll do all this stuff, and I'll start warming up with whatever the first exercise is. And after the first one that my first working set, I start sipping on that drink. That's what I've been doing. I like that first. I like how to do that. I like that. I like that approach. So I do protein first, actually, and I do carbs intra. And it's been a game changer in terms of the intra workout carbohydrates. Big game changer in my training. And I used to eat Sour Patch Kids during a workout. And I know people still do that. They still eat candy and gummy worms and things like that, but that stuff's garbage. But you want a carbohydrate that's going to absorb simply. So that's what I do during. And it's just a powder. Doesn't taste like anything. And I just don't want to eat Sour Patch Kids. I don't want that in my body. Hashtag never quit for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's go. Let's go. All right. The Matrix Trinity, Papa Swole. If you use or do you use micronized creatine? If so, how much? I do 5 to 10 grams a day. So yes, I use creatine every day. I already had 5 grams earlier. I'll probably have some later. 5 to 10, maybe 5 today, but 5 to 10. For a little bit, I did 15 to 20. I tried extra, but I think if you don't get good sleep or you're kind of drained or you're exhausted, have some brain fog, extra creatine for a short period of time, I think is good. But 5 to 10, I just take it every day. Jorge Osorio, 139. How can I go to the gym if I have school at 5 a.m.? Jesus Christ, 5 a.m. This is insane. And work till 10:30 and my gym hours are blank. Well, great. So I can fucking answer the question. So I'm assuming the gym hours they close. You have school at 5 a.m. That is insane. That's awful. I'm against homework. I'm anti-home. I mean, I think that's ridiculous. Why are you in school all fucking day and then you have to do more work at home? That's ridiculous. You should encourage kids to learn hobbies and learn skills and get jobs. You know, you should have apprenticeship, even for younger kids, martial arts after school. You could have schools like this, and then it should be like mandatory. After school activities, kids play sports. It should be yoga or meditation or, martial arts and shit like that after school. It should just be part of it, but at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. You go to the school. I'm assuming this person doesn't have school at 5 a.m. I'm assuming they have to wake up at 5 and catch a bus or something because shit starts way too early. That's a huge problem. That's a huge evil thing that our society does. And that's a part of the debasing of the currency. Mothers can't stay home. Families need 2 jobs or 3 or multiple streams of income. And you have to go to work at 7 or 8. So you have to get your kids to school first. So the buses run before, not after, because you can't leave your kids at home. It's awful. It's awful. So maybe some gyms or schools have gyms. Cerny says get up at 3. We have members that get up at middle of the night, 3 o'clock. But if you're working till 10:30, you can't get up at 3. You can't. You work till 10:30. That means you're getting home at 11. I used to do that. Then you're in bed by midnight? Can't get 3 hours of sleep a night. You're barely even getting 4 or 5. That's awful. But what I would say is you got to exercise. So I would say it's tough, but do something at home. And if you have school at 5 a.m., I would wake up and I would set yourself to do like a 5 to 15 minute workout. Wake up. If you're a kid, I don't know how old you are, you wake up and start doing pull-ups, right? Get out of the gym, wake up, get out of bed, do a dead hang, and I'm doing 100 pull-ups, and I'm going to do 300 push-ups or 2, you figure out a number, start small. Hey, I'm going to do 10 pull-ups, just do 10, real quality pull-ups, or do as many as you can. And that's your That's your standard. You do that many pull-ups, you do maybe 2 or 3 sets, and then you get on the ground and you do a certain number of push-ups or number of sets, and then you do something with like your legs. We do a little yoga flow. You know, you do that for just set 10 minutes. And then it's not forever. Maybe you could train at your school. I don't know how old you are, but here's some other ideas. How about working at a gym? Sweep the floor, you get a free gym membership, and then you're already there. Just some ideas. Sometimes gyms are open 24 hours, so maybe you can, there's one like a Snap Fitness, or I don't know, what are those ones that have key fobs? A lot of gyms do that. Cerny says, skip school, muscles more important. Based. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. All right. No more details. So, Jesse Boner. Oh, yeah. Can we call you Biggest Dickus?
Biggest Dickus?
Jesse's got a Jesse Boner. That's weird. It's a weird opener. Hey, girl. Can I get your IG? I'll DM you. Oh, what's your at, Jesse Boner? All right. So, Jesse's single. Do you, unless that's your name, and you got the, hopefully not the short end of the stick. Hopefully you're absolutely hung. If that's your actual name, my bad, but you better, hopefully you back that up. You can't be Jesse Boner and you have a fucking chode. All right. Do you have any advice for losing stubborn belly fat? Fat's not stubborn. It's just fat. You're probably stubborn and you don't have good habits. Yeah, I have advice. Listen to the podcast, do the elimination diet, lift heavy weights, get sun, supplement properly, eat steak, get to sleep on time, cut out blue light, get rid of all the environmental toxins, dish detergents, cleaners, colognes, Axe body spray, deodorants, Glade plugins, all this shit. There you go. Plastic shower curtains, plastic containers, tap water with fluoride. That's a beast of a list. You can replay that. There's more. But yeah, all these things lead to terrible, terrible outcomes because they're compounded. All right, time for Balls Deep.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's deep.
Jesse can't see his boner. I wish that I was Jesse's boner. Dun, 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 dun. How can you live with a chode like that? All right, where are we? We got some videos. So let's do it. Let's get into some videos. Here we go.
You make me happy.
Which one's short? Oof. We have a cave troll. Oh boy. Is this we got a Piers Morgan interview. Oh, this is going to be wild. Let's do this one first. This is called The Patriarchy. We know where this is going.
What's in the box?
And then we'll get into this clip. Woo-wee. It's going to be a juicy Balls Deep today.
All the people that are profiting off of you hating yourself. That really changed my perspective on a lot of things. The historical reason we feel this way, the reason why it is deeply ingrained in our society, is rooted in 3 things: white supremacy, classism and pretty privilege, and the patriarchy. Now, if you're not educated in these things, you're going to...
It comes from the patriarchy. The patriarchy. It comes from the patriarchy and white supremacy. Like I always say, I like accents, but when you say stupid shit in accents, it sounds stupider. It's just true. That's why whenever there's stupid things being said, why can't we have... When you say intelligent things with the foreign accent, it sounds intelligent. You sound proper, like you're from Oxford. But when you say stupid shit, it just makes you sound like an absolute single-digit IQer. It just makes you sound absolutely just brain dead. There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground. It's brilliant or retarded. There's just nothing in the middle. It's not possible. Talk about a bell curve. All right.
Privilege and the patriarchy. Now, if you're not educated in these things, you're going to be looking at me or listening to me thinking, wow, this woke bitch needs to shut up. But hear me out.
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah. Actually, I know what those things are, and I know it's fucking feminist, woke, leftist, garbage propaganda. And I would love for you to shut the fuck up. Yes to all those things. That's a soundboard. Soundboard.
Wow, this woke bitch needs to shut up. But hear me out.
I love, but hear me out. It just ends. Yeah, okay.
Now, once you've had sex with the woman, she will naturally start to depend on you, okay? All women do this.
Loud noises!
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's do this one. This looks like a clip from Piers Morgan's show. I don't know when this happened, but this is pretty horrifying. It sounds horrifying. Looks horrifying, too. I wasn't going to play this because I saw that it was 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So it's a longer clip. Let's see if we make it through. But I thought it was just this face talking. You'll see what I mean. I thought it was literally her face the whole time. I can't do a minute of that. But it goes back and forth. So it looks like it's an interview. It's just punched in. So I apologize for the jump scare. Let's see what we got here. This is a clip from...
What's in the box?
It's called Trans Women Olympics in my folder. So let's see what we got here. It's a Piers Morgan clip.
They are now part of, they have been through a transition, a physical transition, and I do believe that they should be able to participate with other female athletes.
Wow, well, you've got the Olympics coming to California, to LA. So are you suggesting that you would allow trans athletes to compete in women's sport in the Olympics if you were governor?
Well, I think there's still a lot of discussion that needs to happen. I think there's a lot of information we need to learn about what's really happening with the ability of trans athletes to compete. But
no, I think we've done the social experiment for like the last decade, and it doesn't work. No one likes it. No one likes it. No one wants it. And we're eradicating it slowly but surely. Not fast enough, but that's just because of the vast percentage of retarded people in this country. But yeah, that's the most insane shit ever. That's like me wanting to go play, I don't know, girls soccer. Like girls under 14 soccer. Like I would destroy. I mean, maybe not. There's some people, I don't know. I haven't played soccer in a while. But the equivalent would be, I don't know, boxing a 14-year-old girl. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay, there's more.
my statement is about being able to be sure that they can compete. And right now,
but my question is whether you think they should compete in women's sport in the Olympics, because it's coming to LA, so it's relevant.
I think transgender female athletes are women athletes. And they should be able to compete.
Really?
No. She doesn't believe that. She does not believe. These are absolute liars and grifters. You heard it. That's a tell. Oh my God. Any analyst or interviewer or interrogator could tell you listen to this shit. Listen to this shit.
I think transgender female athletes are women athletes. And they should be able to compete.
Really? No one talks like that if they're not lying out their fucking ass. Let's do it again.
Because it's coming to LA, so it's relevant.
I think transgender female athletes are women athletes. And they should be able to compete.
Really?
Look at her.
So if you were governor of California,
look at her face. She's like, yep. Blink twice if you need help.
I think transgender female athletes are women athletes. And they should be able to compete.
Really? So if you were governor of California, you would support biological males who identify as women competing in women's sport in the Olympics?
They are now identified as transgender female.
And you think and you think it's fair that they should then compete in women's sport?
I think she should be able to compete in women's sports, but I also think that there is
she looks off to the right.
And you think it's fair that they should then compete in women's sport?
Look.
I think she should be able to compete in women's sports, but I also think that there is still some
look at her eyes.
To be able to compete in women's sports.
Before she answers, look at her eyes.
That they should then compete in women's sport?
I think she should be able to compete in women's sports, but I also think that there is still some discussion about whether they should compete in the same field. But I just want them to be able to participate.
Sure, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is what happens when it's a script. And I'm not saying it's a script like she's looking at something reading. And I'm not saying she doesn't believe it, but it's something that's not authentic. It's something that has to be said carefully because it's learned and it's, and we know leftist logic just flips upon itself. It doesn't make any sense. It conflicts with itself. You just break it down. You can't say it logically because it's not logical. Okay. So in other words, it's learned, it's remembered, it has to be said a certain way. You can tell when someone's authentic. You can tell when someone knows. You can tell when you're being honest. When you're not, you have to remember the story. It's like lying, what happened? You're being interrogated and the story changes, right? The story changes. It's different a little bit every time. You're trying to remember the lie so things come out because it's not true. You don't have to remember anything. You don't have to make shit up. You don't have to remember what happened if it's true. You just remember what happened. And of course, memories can be fallible, but you get the point. If you remember it a certain way, you don't have to, okay, what was the story? And you say it and you have to think. And so you can say things a certain way so your own side doesn't roast you. So your own side, because the left eats their own. So the left doesn't tear you apart and then kick you out of the club or the cult, I should say.
Some discussion about whether they should compete in the same field, but I just want them to be able to participate.
I'm sure you do. Why, out of interest, why do you think we separate the sexes in the Olympics?
Well, because they do come with different attributes in terms of physicality. And
so you accept...
Why do you think we separate them? Oh, because they're different. You see what I mean? Oh my God. It doesn't even get halfway through the fucking clip before you fuck yourself completely. She just literally admits that she lied. And it's completely nonsense. She's trying to convince him that 2 + 2 = 5. And he's like, it doesn't. And she's like, well, because it equals 4. And he's like, you just said it equals 4. And she's like, well, no, it's the same thing. Okay.
Sure, I'm sure you do. Why, out of interest, why do you think we separate the sexes in the Olympics?
Well, because they do come with different attributes in terms of physicality. And
so you accept that we separate the sexes because men have a physical advantage over women?
Yes.
I know about an advantage in some sports, yes. In other sports, maybe not.
Can you think of a single sport in the Olympics where men would not have an advantage over women, with the exception potentially
bread baking?
Archery?
I think you can see female athletes where, particularly in track and field, where agility is probably...
Are you suggesting that women... So hang on. You think that women could compete against men in track and field, like in 100 meters, 200 meters, 10,000 meters? Do you?
No.
Perhaps. I'm not a sports expert. But...
Of course they couldn't. Have you seen the times that women and men record in the Olympics for all track and field events? Have you watched Usain Bolt when he smashed the world record for the 100 meters?
Yes.
So you think women could run against Usain Bolt, for example, at his peak, and that would be fair?
I think, look, I'm just going to say this. There's a lot of misinformation about the ability of transgender athletes.
That wasn't my question.
Yeah, what a fucking liar. See? Yeah, just... Wow. Yeah, you know how... You think Piers Morgan needs to ask her if she's ever had experience in sports? Look at this face. The only sport that she knows is face shoveling. Her favorite sport is the Nathan's Hot Dog Challenge in Coney Island. And it's because she's in the crowd stuffing her fat face. What an idiot. She's not even an expert on having a functioning brain. She's not even an expert. I would rather just put a person with Down syndrome here. You could have someone with Down syndrome telling us how to make a solid grilled cheese, and it would make more sense. It would actually be good information. We're like, oh, I never thought about how to make a grilled cheese like that. That makes sense. I never thought about toasting both sides and flipping. Yeah, that's how you do get a nice crust, but you don't overcook. What an idiot. Just an absolute liar. It's just a straight up, obviously, this is This is why I don't feel bad when you're that confident. I don't feel bad making fun of these retarded people. It just doesn't make any sense. Why do you think she hates women so much? She's absolutely a quat. She's a full-blown quat. Why do you think she hates women? Because if you want men to compete in women's sports, you hate women. You're anti-woman. Why do you think she hates women? I'll give you a guess. Maybe because she looks like a potato that was dropped between couch cushions and was found like 8 months later. Maybe that's why she hates women. Because she looks like a fucking cave troll. She looks like an extra from Lord of the Rings. She hates women because she looks like fucking ass. That's why. There's no other reason why you hate women. And we know this. A lot of women hate other women. It's evolution. It starts with intrasexual competition. Not all women hate other women, but all of these ones do. That's for sure. Exceptions don't make the rule, but that's a stereotype that's true. That's why it's a stereotype. Stereotypes are true for the stereotype. Why do you think we have stereotypes? Because they're true. They're overwhelmingly common. That's what a stereotype is. An overwhelmingly common. It doesn't mean every single person, but there's a reason why you have a stereotype, right? For anything. Wow, these are things that everyone notices so much that it's almost like a joke. No one that uses a stereotype actually thinks that it's everyone, but there's a reason why stereotypes exist. Pick the stereotype. There's probably a reason for it. Stereotypes don't come out of nowhere. It might not be the same as it was maybe for anything like 100 or 200 or 50 or 10 or 5 years ago. Things change. I don't know. Look into it. Now, I'm not picking any particular one, but usually there's a reason. But it's not across the board. Exceptions don't make the rule, but it doesn't make them not make them accurate. Anyway, but yeah, you don't have that opinion. You don't have that opinion if you really care about women. You don't have that opinion if you actually care about succeeding. You don't care about that opinion. You don't say those things if you actually have some morality and you're being honest. You're not being honest. That's why she stutters and she clears her throat and looks off to the side. She has to remember the script. And it doesn't make sense. She literally just said, yeah, well, that's because they're different, but I want them to have a chance. What are you talking about? Go have your own trans Olympics that no one watches. Go do it. Who cares? Go have a trans Olympics. Fund it, right? Go fund a trans Olympics. Go find people to fund that, right? It's a business. If you can get it to grow, cool. Just try. You have to do it without subsidizing, right? You can't be like the WNBA where like someone just pays you for it and like, oh, let's pretend like this is popular. No one cares. You can't force people to care about women's basketball. It's not going to happen. Unless you're playing basketball, and I was going to say, unless you're playing basketball in bikinis, but that'd be even worse. No one wants to watch WNBA players in bikinis. All right, let's move on. Let's do, what else we got here? Anything going on? I feel like I wanted to cover something. Oh yeah, this is some creepy stuff. So, this guy, some of you live in, what is it, Illinois, right? J.B. Pritzker, that fat cow. Look at this post. The balls to say something like this. You know what we talk about when it comes to like safe and effective. So the other day I posted something on X, and I was like, some prompt, it goes viral, and it was a picture, and it said, write a horror story using 3 words, like a horror movie or something. What's a title of a horror movie, or the whole summary of a horror movie in just 3 words? What would be a good horror movie? Or write a horror movie or something in 3 words, whatever it was. So I said safe and effective. So Governor Pritzker says vaccines, imagine saying this in 2025. This guy doesn't eat anything but cake. It's like Chris Christie trying to give you health advice. It's, it's insane. It's the same insanity as men can compete in women's sports by just claiming they're women because they have a mental disorder. Vaccines are safe and effective. Autism isn't caused by vaccines, and autistic people and their families deserve our support. This is such we're going to break this down because it's sickening. It's sickening language, and it's an absolute grift. And of course, this is geared towards liberal women and weak men because it's trying to play on heartstrings. And he's attaching things to, other concepts for the grift. When you want information, ask your doctor. Ooh, and trust the experts? It's more important than ever for all of us to speak plainly, truthfully, and directly about public health. I think actually getting to the root cause of these problems. Saying vaccines are safe and effective. That's a lie. They're not safe and they're overwhelmingly ineffective. But saying that as an absolute is incorrect. Are they 70% safe? 40? 85? Well, that's what we're trying to do with actual research now because the vaccine manufacturers, they obscure data, they hide data. We know about the injury reports and VAERS and things like that get shoved under the rug and are misreported and misrepresented. And, there's no cancer stats in this country, right? The CDC or something hasn't released cancer stats for the last 5 years. I wonder why. Because cancer's through the fucking roof because of all these experimental gene therapies. People are just dropping dead just magically. Autism isn't caused by vaccines. Pritzker, Mr. Fat Fuck. I didn't realize that. It's just a statement of fact. It's not caused. Well, I think it is. In many cases, or some cases. It's obviously not zero. It's not zero. Would you guys say that autism caused by vaccines is zero? What would you guys say? Would you say the result of autism being caused by vaccines is literally zero? Do you think it's zero? Do you think vaccines have ever harmed people? Recently or ever? It's not zero. Very good. Sterling says it's not zero. So let's find out what that fucking number is. Let's find out the reasons. It's definitely not zero. And I'm being sarcastic because it's much, 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 much more than fucking zero. So there it is right there. There's always a risk. There's a risk walking down the street. Right? There's a risk when you post on X. People are going to call you out on your fucking bullshit. When you want information, ask your doctor. Oh, trust the experts. You mean the people that were forcing you to take experimental gene therapy because pharmaceutical companies and media advertising and medical bodies were threatening doctors with their licensing if they didn't push these experimental therapies? Those people? You mean those doctors? The doctors, right? The doctors that should be charged with fucking war crimes in many cases. If you think COVID wasn't a war, it was a war. Information war. Don't forget about it. A lot of people are burned out and they were hypnotized. A lot of people don't want to talk about that shit anymore. That was a couple years ago. They would love for you not to talk about it anymore. Everyone's tired. I don't want to hear about that anymore. I don't want to care. I don't care about that anymore. It's because you were an evil piece of shit during it. It's because you were a liar, you were a grifter, and you feel bad about it. You don't want to address it because you're embarrassed, because you lost your integrity. Yeah, you were proven to be a weak, corrupted, manipulated individual. And you realized, oh, I am that bad person. Oh, I would be that person that went along with the government. I would be that person that would just take a knee and, not stand up and protect people and speak my mind. Oh, I would shut up and just go with the flow. A lot of people realize they weren't who they would think they were. They weren't the person that they didn't step up during the time where, the veil was lifted, the Wizard of Oz, the curtain was parted. So they don't want to think about it because it reminds them of their failure. Like their fundamental failure to themselves and their community and their family and to themselves, most importantly. I'm not saying you can't repent and do better, but it takes an equally strong person to realize when you're fucked up, and to admit that, hey, I wouldn't have done that. And to move forward, but you have to address that. You want to block it off and just protect your ego. You're one of those people today that are still masking up and, posting about Antifa and doing stupid shit online. You don't pay attention. You're brainwashed and you were cucked out by the state and by the media apparatus. And you can't look yourself in the mirror knowing that. All right. Let's give away the Swole card and then we will do a throwback. Hashtag never quit. Never quit. Let's go. Falcon. Pick me a winner. Ooh. We got a winner, fam. We got a winner. Today's winner is new member Don. Congratulations. Now, this card was made for Don. Don is an older Swole fan member. Got into a car accident. Had some temporary paralysis. Blew up to 315 pounds. Has lost 50. Joined the Swole fam. Obviously never quitting. So this was made for you today. And what I want you to do, fam, is to head on over to the app. If you remember, open up the app, go into the community section, and let Don know that he won today's Swole card. And if you could, let him know how to claim it, because he's new to the fam. He might not be watching today. Go to, send us an email, Don, to support@swolemerce.com, Swole card 3450 in the subject, and your mailing address in the body of the email. So please go and let Don know and give him those details if you can. I'll try to head over there later, but I'd appreciate everyone going over there and welcoming Don to the fam and letting him know that he won today's Swole card and how to claim it. That way we can get him started the right way. And you can look at this Swole fam card and see never quit. And that's why you're here, because you didn't quit. And you can't take the second step until you take the first step. Just remember that. Can't take step number 2 unless you take step number 1. So we are happy to have you, and I'm honored that you're taking that step with myself and the Swole fam. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Good for you.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
All right, we got a throwback, so let's do that. What is this? Ooh, wrong folder. Good Lord. Almost missed the throwback. Ooh, what is this one? Ooh. All right, what we got here? All right, this one looks funny. Let's do this one.
What's in the box?
All right. TBT.
Girl. Me. I think you're a boy. Sick burn. No, I'm a girl. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think you look like. Sorry. No. Just ugly. Speak for yourself. Look at him, he's so mean. Do I look like a boy or girl? He's telling me I'm a man. I wonder why. He thinks it's funny.
He thinks it's funny because it's retarded. That's why he's laughing, because he's like, these fucking people are insane. I love the background. I'm a boy. Or I'm a girl. And he's like, okay. I want to play that again. I want to do that again. Ready? Okay. Just listen to the voice.
Do I look like a boy or a girl? Me.
I think you're a boy.
Sick burn. No, I'm a girl.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a girl.
Okay.
No, I'm a girl. Okay. Do I look like a boy or a girl? He's like, I love the first reaction. He's like, huh? Eh? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You look like a boy. I'm a girl. Okay. He's just back there like, okay, what the fuck is this? Why are you recording me and why are you asking me if I look like a boy or a girl when I'm obviously a man? You know what's also weird? With these fucking lunatics? This is an adult, all right?
Do I look like a boy or a girl?
Do I look like a boy or a girl? How about a man or a woman? We have this like lifetime infantilization. This is like, these are kids that were never hugged. They're desperate for love and attention. You're not a boy. You're a fucking man. Grow the fuck up and stop being a pussy.
Are there any women here
No,
today?
there's no women today. Just a fucking broken man with a mental disorder. Absolutely insanity. Crazy. I love it. An honest reaction. Okay. Do I look like a boy or a girl? Huh? You look like a boy. I'm a girl. Okay. Oh, okay. Can I go back to making pizza, bro? Can I go back to making my sandwiches? Get the fuck out of here. All right, fam. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe. Pick up some merch, papaswolio.com, Swole Ferratu. Fuck your resolutions. Get some flags, get some caps, get some snow hats, get some hoodies, zip-up hoodies. We got new stuff. Go check out the main gains, Scalp Seed, Bull Cream, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you laid.
That's the bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Off topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets.